Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to another amazing episode of Beyond Boardroom Business. I am CoachSteffanie, and ladies and gentlemen, just as always, make sure you pull your pen, paper, take notes. I have an amazing trailblazer on tonight, and she's very special. She's a great business associate of mine. And without further ado, let's just bring on Miss Roselyn Omaka. How are you this evening?
Hello. I am so honored and happy to be here. Thank you, CoachSteffanie.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate you spending time with me because I really am intrigued with your resume, your bio. And so can you just share with us who is Roselyn Omaka?
Roselyn. It's okay. My name is Roselyn Omaka, and I am based here in Houston, Texas. And I am in media marketing, and I am a producer. And so we love spreading good news and light into the world. That's what we're about.
Oh, I love it. Now, how did you get started in the media?
I will say getting started in media, that was not the plan. I will just first say, because being a Nigerian American, where it's like you need to be a lawyer, a doctor, or engineer, or disgrace, I was on the original medical school track. However, I spent a lot of my career in undergrad somehow working for Apple. So a lot of tech in there. Media happened, I will say, pretty much when COVID started. And whenever COVID happened, AI and all this AI taking all of our jobs and whatnot, I was in a weird place in my life where I was kind of down. And my brother, he was the final one that convinced me to start a podcast. And I resisted. I will tell you this right now. I resisted. Why? Because the world and the keyboard warriors are mean. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. But I'm glad that I did. And I listened to the man upstairs. Yes. And I will say that's what started it. My brother helping me, and I had a team of people that supported me, and that's how we started. And it's kind of like escalated from there.
All right. So to be in the spotlight, are you shy?
It's weird. That's a good question. I will say yes and no. Yes and no. I love having one-on-one conversations with people, and I really love that dialogue, like what we're having right now. Yes. I would say it's a mix. I would say sometimes I don't want attention on me. I'm like a homebody, to be honest. But I'm not really shy. I can talk to any stranger. I had door knocking experience, and so with Comcast, and I will talk to any stranger. I don't really care who you are.
Yeah, that's cool. That is a good trait to have. Because it's like you never meet a stranger, so you always feel welcome. That's cool. Yes. So you said you have Nigerian background. Can you go more into that?
Yes, my mother, she's Creole, and my father, he is Nigerian. He came to the States, coming to America style. He had a map and a dart, and wherever that dart would land, that's where he would go. Kid you not. It landed in Alaska. And he was like, I'm going to go to Alaska. And my grandfather's like, we African, it's cold. So he threw the dart again, and it landed in Nebraska. And that's where he saw Omaha. And if you see my last name, it kind of rhymes a little bit. That's kind of how it started.
Wow, you just never know, do you?
Yes, my mama chased him down back in the day. She was like, "Oh, I want him." Here I
am. Yeah. And so, growing up, did you have any role models or mentors?
Man, I will say growing up, the way that I grew up, I didn't grow up with a lot of people that looked like me. The only interactions that I had of people that looked like me, truly, honest to God, was whenever I would go back home to Nigeria. I've been going back home to Africa since like 4 years old. I'm a dual citizen. And so my life here in the States, I never really felt pretty or anything like that. But when I saw Oprah and I saw Tyra Banks and I saw these women, like, I was like, man, I want to be like those people one day. And so those were the role models at the time, just what I saw on screen, because I was very sheltered.
Now, did I hear you right? Did you say you didn't think you were pretty?
No, because when you're going to private schools and going to schools with a lot of, Caucasian people, they don't have as much melanin. You don't have the blonde hair, the blue eyes, and all of that stuff. And then you would hear certain things out of like the parents' mouth, and it's like that stuff kind of sticks with you as a kid. But then when you open up magazines or you at the grocery store and you see people like Tyra Banks and you see people like Oprah, it's like, oh, wow, it's like that can be me.
Wow. Yeah, that shows you the power of presence. And yes, exactly. Wow. That's really interesting. And so what do you have going on now?
Man, right now it comes down, there's so many different things, but I will say it's beautiful along this journey, because when I started my podcast and and being on camera, other entertainment opportunities came my way, where I am now over Houston Comedy Film Festival, which is one of the top film festivals, running 16 years in the country.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you. And it's amazing because that right there, making sure that when we put out light into the world, being able to meet all of these amazing filmmakers and talent from all over that fly to Houston, and being able to focus on that. And it's like, what are we putting out into the world of what people love at home? And making sure that, again, that light. The other thing I will say, which I'm so honored about, is that Belanle Media, we're the official media sponsors for the Special Olympics. And when it comes down to the underdogs and people saying, oh, like, you can't do it. And I'm like, says who? I'm about to do it without you.
That's right.
That's how I look at these athletes. That's all of these athletes, people have said things to them and seeing them shine. And so one thing that we're focused on is spotlighting them in this documentary that we're working on and raising funds for.
Oh, that is so sweet. I as well work with special individuals, and it is very special to me because it helps me stay humble. It helps me, remember my journey and what I'm here to do. So congratulations for stepping up and creating that documentary. When will it be out?
Well, we're working on raising funds right now, and I'm happy to say, because I would love to, work with you. I want you to be a part of this project. But I will say to you that we want to start shooting this fall. And I will also say the director that I've chosen, and also the DP, the director, she is an Emmy nominee. She's a 2-time Netflix fellow. And so it's great. And also even Isaac, he's worked on other broadcast television and like MTV, Nickelodeon, etc. So when we think about how this documentary is going to be done, it's not just going to be like, oh, we're going to shoot it. But if you're familiar with Top Gun and how it made it seem like you were in the plane with them, we want the audience to have an immersive experience, like they're playing the sports, and it's very action and immersive.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. That's wonderful. Wow. So how do you prepare the individuals for being in front of the camera? What do you share with them? How do they understand what's going on?
I will definitely say they cannot be underestimated, because the athletes that I have spoken to, they definitely know what's going on for sure. And we want to make sure that they feel comfortable. But when we have our camera crews following them around, and then also, giving them certain tools, whether it be a GoPro or whatnot, making sure that they are involved with the process, so that way they and their families feel comfortable. And I know I want to have great relationships with people. So that human one-on-one interaction, that helps out a lot. And then so that way that trust factor is built, because I am someone that wants to make you look good and make you shine.
Yes, definitely. So is this something that you do all of the time, create documentaries?
This is actually, I'm excited because this is my first official documentary that I am now spearheading, because a lot of the other projects that I am on that come to my desk, and, I'm an executive, but it's like these projects, I have A-list talent that all are on my desk, but this is something that truly means something to me that no one can take away. Because as you know, as a woman in this particular space, all sorts of obstacles come our way.
Yes, yes. Let's talk on that. How is it being a woman in the media?
Being a woman in media, people will test you. People will definitely test you, as you know. And this business, whether it's people that look like us, where sometimes, you know, some people think that there's only like one space for us, and I'm like, no, there's more opportunities for all of us to be at the top. Or you have, you know, certain men that may come and they may want to test you, and it's kind of like, how bad do you want certain things? And for me, I'm willing to work really hard, and it's like, forget you, I'm gonna do this by myself. If I have to work 10 times harder without you, you can't take it away from me.
Yes, and that's because you have self-esteem. You know, when you have self-esteem, you're not going to cheat your value. You understand your value, and that's really good, because I hear different things, of course, couch interviews and all kind of different things that people have to go through, and it's so unnecessary, and it's not fair.
It's crazy, and it's kind of like, you know, some of these people, they prey on your weakness. And whether it's a financial need or they just know that you're hungry, and it's like they know out of maybe 100 people, there's gonna be somebody that's gonna say yes to me.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So as a producer, what is a day in a life of being a producer?
Oh, no day is the same. I will tell you. I will say, I work with all different time zones, and when it comes down to the different calls and the different meetings that I have with investors, whether it's LA, whether it's in Europe, everyone, a day in the life. Definitely meetings throughout the day, many meetings. And then of course, like filtering out a lot of people that are serious in that space. And that's from on the investment side. And then when it comes down to the team, making sure that you have the right team that's truly passionate about that project. Because if you look at it like a puzzle, you know, and you want this end product, who are all the right people that I need that are so passionate at what their God-given gifts are, whether it be behind the camera or in front of the camera? How do we put everyone together so that way the outcome of this is powerful?
Wow. And can you elaborate on building your team? How do you find them? Word of mouth? You search on LinkedIn? What do you do?
Definitely not on LinkedIn. I will say if it is LinkedIn, it's the people that I see constantly, you know, maybe words of encouragement or the output that I see just based off of the content and how genuine they are of motivational. Because sometimes in a society and where we all are mentally right now, people are really kind of down. And so if you were able to still stay positive and uplifting throughout all of this, that shows me your leadership skills and your capabilities. Word of mouth is definitely huge, because I want to make sure that, you know, if I have an experience with someone and I'm speaking to another executive or a leader, that would be horrible for me to give a horrible recommendation if they did not treat me or my team right and they go somewhere else. I would feel like that responsibility is within me. It's on me.
Wow, that's you have a lot of integrity. That's really crucial for the role. Yes, yes.
Very, very.
So, producer, what else do you have going on?
I will definitely say, because it's weird as a producer, but I'm also now slowly more becoming the talent where people are wanting me on camera. I haven't officially said yes. I haven't said yes to the right roles as of yet, because I do not, when I think about any opportunities on camera that I'm taking, I want to think about my future children and legacy. And so many times with us being in this business, you're like, oh, I want to make a quick dollar or I want to make money. But sometimes when you look at that, the decisions that you make today, the project that you're working on, you know, that's going to be spread forever. And people, including other future partners, they will look at you as such. For example, women, they may limit themselves, and whether they like what I'm saying or not, you know, if you decide to play the role of a stripper, you know, you will probably be forever seen in that light. And other opportunities, people may not want to direct you because now their audience is looking at you like, I don't know. I get it all the time from directors.
Wow. How how does a woman in particular avoid scammers trying to get into that industry?
Paperwork and documentation. I don't care
Mhm.
about what you say. I want a conversation and I want to see paperwork. You can talk to me all the time. Words mean nothing in this business. You can know when people are serious when you pull out that contract.
Hello, that's it right there. That's it. And
Yeah.
also, something that you and I share is the power of 33, where there's a will,
Yes.
there's a way.
Yes.
So, what inspired you to write a chapter in this anthology?
I will say, man, I let me just first say that I am not a person that typically likes talking about myself so much. And so um I know what inspired me was just seeing the obstacles of what other people went through, because all of us have different stories.
Yes.
Um I have my own obstacles that I felt comfortable enough to share on there, but I would say that we all have the power to overcome, and knowing that I'm not alone, and the fact that the people that are a part of this book, we all have our past and we have our pain, but yet we're thriving and we're creating something new together that will change generations to come. And I was honored to be a part of it.
Oh, yes, yes, definitely. We definitely have a book launch coming soon. And man, the journey is just going to just be amazing after that. So I definitely look forward to it. And again, thank you for being a part of the power of 33. Where there's a will, there's a way. You
Yeah.
know, it's all about the trailblazers, and you definitely are qualified. So what else is going on in your world? We got producer, author, which I'm sure you were already writing, but what else do you have going on, if anything?
I will say right now, I am focused on interviewing a lot of these amazing filmmakers where I am able to help them in their journeys of making sure
Oh,
that we are getting it on the big screen so people can see the light. That takes up so much time, because I know I'm one person and many of these directors want to have one-on-one time with me, and I'm so honored for it. And so I will say that right now I'm focused on the festival and also any partners that are wanting to grow with us, that like media, marketing, press, making sure that we're reporting the news and we're making sure that we create a great pathway. um, a great pathway. And what I mean by that is I want to make sure I'm connecting you with the resources and people that I know. I want to make sure I'm connecting you to people that are going to get you there. They're not just there to take your money.
so I have a question. What's the difference between film festival and uh, what's on the screens at big um,
Yes.
theaters? What's the difference?
So the film festival is a step one before it even gets to the screen.
Gotcha.
So I
Okay.
guess you can consider me a gatekeeper in this business. So I would have never imagined me being in this space until people were like, "Oh, you're the gatekeeper." I said, "What?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." So I will say before it even gets to the big screen of what you see in the theaters, the
Okay.
first test is going to the film festival. And so when it comes down to even setting your budget for your, let's say, your particular movie or your project, you know, a part of that budget is marketing. And where is it marketing? You have to test your movie in different markets. And so when people submit to my festival, they submit to Cannes, they submit to South by Southwest, you want to be able to test your product that you spent so much time, like a year or two, working on. You want to see how it performs in front of a real live audience.
Yes, definitely. So I know a person that's creating a documentary and he's using his cell phone. Is that as official as a movie, or do you have to have the big cameras and the heavy equipment to make sure that the image is correct?
You don't necessarily have to. I will say there's no rules when it comes down to art. I will say, let me just start by saying that when it comes down to art, there are no rules. However, when it comes down to the quality, there are standards that you must have, just as far as with the production quality. I mean, I have seen people do amazing things with a camera, even if it's a cell phone, but you want to at least make sure on the technicality side, you know, if you're dealing with an iPhone, because even iPhones can shoot cinematic in a way now, with the right lighting, you know, the lighting and the sound, there are certain basic levels, because if I have dreams and aspirations for this to get on Netflix, or if I want to get on Apple TV, what do they require? And if you want to be on those platforms, you first need to make sure you pass the basic level test.
That is so true. Now, I also have another business associate that has a trailer, and he's having a lot of challenges moving past the trailer.
What do you mean?
He has a trailer, and he's trying to generate revenue so he can make it into a movie, official movie. But he's getting a lot of accolades for the trailer about this movie. It has something to do with domestic violence, but it's to help bring attention to how, unfortunate it is to have to experience that. But he is trying to get it on Netflix and things like that. So how does a person search for investors?
I would definitely say whichever industry that you're in, just like any other market, it's a matter of finding the right niche and people that are looking for that content. Because, for example, film festivals are also important, not just for the audience that's going to be watching you, but these film festivals, we have distributors, we have other people that are going to be there. And so if I have a domestic violence film, and then I'm in front of people that are not seeking this content, they want lesbian content or they want action, that doesn't really fit. You're wasting your time and their time. And so it's a matter of first doing the right, what's your research and talking to the right people.
That is so true.
Not talking to the same people. We get comfortable talking to the same people, and you're wasting your time when strangers, you got to get out of your comfort zone. That's the one thing I say with many filmmakers. They stay with the same niche and they're like, why isn't nobody supporting me? Like, why? And I'm like, this is why.
That makes a lot of sense. Wow. So is society looking for romance movies or any particular type of genre or any topics that are in demand now?
I will say it's very, very interesting because depending on the network that you're seeking, they're all seeking content, and certain networks are they're wanting like action or they're wanting sports. Like Netflix is getting more. I'll give you a perfect example. During COVID, if you noticed, there were a lot of increase in comedy shows because they were picking up those stand-up comics, and then you'll notice documentaries. So you start to see a trend. And I know once the algorithm, it starts picking up, okay, this is what people like to see. After a while, it starts becoming a blur. And so, man, I could say so much. Like, I'll give so much information on this, but I will definitely say it's a matter of the network that you want to go on and you want to stream your content on. Take a look right now at what they're currently showing. Not saying that it has to be the same exact thing, because you still want to be unique, but you at least know what the audience is looking for.
Right. Now let me ask you this. I hear that what's out there, it's controlled by, especially Black movies. They're not really created by us. Is there a way that we can get more Black writers and producers to produce more Black movies that really relate to Black people?
I would say yes. I have my own very strong opinions about this as a Black woman in this particular space. I know when it comes down to the projects, I think about the stories, and if people are seeking money from either crowdfunding or either from investors, you don't have to take money from every single investor that comes your way, because some of these investors, what makes sense for them may not make sense for you. And opportunities may come your way where it's like, what, should I take this gig because I want this job and it's an opportunity, but do I need to be this gangster, or do I need to be this negative stereotype? Because at the end of the day, we all have the power of choice. That's the big thing. We have the power of choice. And then also, just like Hollywood does it and other producers do, like we have to keep working. We can't stop. No one's going to hand us anything. That's what I will always say. No one's going to hand us. But if we keep searching like we would in any other business, finding the right investor who believes in that story, they will put the money behind it.
Okay. For example, I live in Atlanta. ish. And there's Tyler Perry Studios. For what if I wanted to become a writer for Tyler Perry? What are the general steps that someone would have to go through?
I don't, let me first say that I do not work for Tyler Perry or anything like that. Okay. However, when it comes down to pitching stories, I'll give you a perfect real life example. Okay. I know, and I'll be very vague because this is not my story. This is his story. But my third or fourth interview, my friend Courtney Glaudet, he asked me to interview, the actors for his movie on the red carpet. And then later he decided everybody come to Roselyn's house. And that was the movie we're reading. And I know that he did a lot of research and he prayed because he knew that he wanted the Oscar winner Monique to be the main person in it. And so even after, initially he didn't get yeses, but I know eventually she then said yes, because it's like he was persistent and he was persistent. I'm going to talk to these right people. And, now Tyler Perry literally has him now directing his movies,
Wow.
And so that's why I'm saying that. And it's like his persistence and seeing him and then working with people like myself and other people along his journey where how can we support Courtney to get there? It's a matter of persistence and finding the right person, and don't just stop when you hear no.
Right. So how can a person stay inspired after hearing so many no's?
Even if you have to go to YouTube, and I'm even speaking from like experience, like even if you have to go to YouTube and find other people and hear their stories or read their memoirs, it's a matter of not just reading it, but also applying it. And also, even though you have a fear, like, man, this person's going to say no, I may get embarrassed, but it's just a matter of just practicing and practicing and practicing and getting better. I'm constantly practicing my skills every single day because I'm not perfect. I learn every day because this business is constantly evolving.
That's true. That is so true.
And I will say this, the people that I have encountered that come my way, that they see these stars and they want to be like Denzel Washington, and they have all these people. It's like they don't even realize the talent and the legends that are around them right now. And all of these God-given abilities, they're looking right over them. And if you would have stuck with your same team that was just as passionate about you, you can all grow together.
Wow, that's powerful. Wow. This is an amazing episode right here. Is there anything else that you are involved in that you would like to discuss?
I will say right now, these are my focuses. And I will say one thing I love with Bolanle is not only putting more light into the world. I love it where we're able to mix in small brands with big brands and the true heart of where everyone is. Because I see the companies, but I pay attention to the soul of who is this person that owns this company. And when you know what their why is, it makes it so easy for everyone to collaborate to really push the world forward, which is what our slogan is with Bolanle. But I will definitely say any companies and brands that are wanting to grow with us on a global scale, because as you know, I'm working with you, with the nation, on many amazing things. And the persistency, it's going to get hard. It's getting very interesting right now with society, inflation, and all that stuff. But if we stay in communication together, like, we can get it done. We don't have to do it by ourselves.
That's right. So where did this beautiful name Bolanle come from?
It's a even though I'm Igbo, it's a Yoruba name from that tribe, and it means finds wealth at home. And I chose that name because all of us, wealth doesn't have to mean money. It can mean family. It can mean health. It can mean so many things. And when you look at our logo, all the different industries, all the different colors, and you see the leaf growing at the top, we are able to grow new ideas together.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Wow. I really enjoyed this conversation. Do you have any tips, any last words for the viewers and listeners?
I will definitely say my advice, whoever is listening to this, and I really pray that y'all are listening and take this to your heart. Like, anybody that says that you can't do it, He did not give the vision to them. Where you can't sleep at night, And every single day when you wake up, this is on your heart. This is on your heart. That's God calling you. And don't stop anybody, because we live in a very spiritual world. Anybody that's trying to distract you or saying you can't do it, just ignore it. There's so many different people in the world. Why are you focused on those people? Let's focus on people that we can all come together, and the rest, it fades out.
I love it. I love it. I would love for you to come back in the future so we can follow up and see what's going on in your world. Is that good?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And just hold on. I will come back to you. And I appreciate your time. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for listening.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed this amazing episode. As you can tell, she has a plethora of information and just full of advice. And make sure you find where she is. You check out her website, BolanleMedia.com. And it is spelled, for those who can't see, BOLANLE. All right, BOLANLE media.com. Thank you all for participating and watching Beyond Boardroom Business with Coach Steffanie. And until the next time, stay prayerful, stay present, and stay powerful. Peace.